Alright, in this video of the Cyber 9 series, we're going to be going over the only villain that came out for the Cyber 9 series. Now, is he the best villain in the show? It's debatable. Realistically, after watching the show, I would have much rather gotten one of his henchmen. You know, they have, what do they call it? The tunnel rats and the hammer claws. The tunnel rats are way cooler, and they have a vehicle as well. I'm pretty sure they intended to have the other villains and the villains' vehicles in Wave 2 that never came, because the tunnel rats have a really cool hover bike, and they also have some other bad guys. There's King Renard, who interacts with the good guys a lot more. Like, Machestro's in the show, but he's always up in his castle, you know, bring me Cyber 9. And he sends out his henchmen to try to get the Cyber 9, which they never do. Sometimes they do, but, you know, then they just bumble along in incompetence. And he's like, you bunch of idiots! Like every other stereotypical villain in the show. And throughout the 22 episodes, I think he interacts with the main character face to face 2 times. Maybe 3. But as far as an action figure, what are you going to do with this guy? He never even sees any of the hero characters, any of the protagonists. So, I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do with this guy as an action figure. But I get you got to have the main bad guy. You got to have him. So this is Machestro, and you'll notice that his background is red. That way you know he's a bad guy. And you can see right here, I get him for I didn't get him for 99 cents, but I kind of did. But, you know, I think people like, oh, these are really old, and we should be able to sell them for like a ton of money. And, you know, it's not always necessarily the case. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's valuable. You know, that's what is that, Pawn Stars quote. So that's why we're going to rip this guy open, because he's not very rare, but we're going to save him because, while there are many like him, this one is mine. So I'm going to save some of the packaging, and we're going to pull out his little piece of paper here, and I'm going to set that aside and hang on to it. And then I think they have this little central piece here to keep his cape nice and fresh, you know. He's got a super badass sword in here. No, this isn't a sword, this is a staff. And he uses this staff to zap his underlings with all the time, just to let people know that he's the bad guy. So he's always zapping this one dude with this staff, and which is mildly comical. He has these cool blades on the back of his back, and he has some little vent exhaust ports on his abdomen for some reason. And I believe, does his wrists turn? Oh man, he's got some wrist articulation just in the one hand. And this is so that when he's doing stuff, he can cast his lightning bolt, you know, and hold his staff, and, you know, alright, so, and he can be there like, you idiot! Don't fail me again! And now he has this little, it's not really a cape, I don't know what you'll call this, it's not a skirt, but it has a little pin and whole system to hold on, and it is bright red. I don't know if this picks up in the video, but this sucker is brighter than stop sign red, which is really pretty cool. I mean, if you need a vampire in your 3 3/4 line, I got your man right here. He's a pretty cool vampire. This wrist, I think I may have even broke it. It's supposed to turn, but man, it might pop off. Oh, look at that. Oh, that sucks. Right out of the... Boop! There it goes. Well, I screwed that up. Oh, that's disappointing. I'll just glue it back on. I'll pop a little bit of super glue on it. But now you know. Don't turn his wrist, even though it says it's supposed to. You can see where it was supposed. It's not molded in. It's got a pin in there. But, you know, these guys are old, so what do you want? But back to what I was saying, like, this guy makes a great vampire. His legs turn 90 degrees so he can sit on a throne or something. He ain't going around in no vehicles shooting up nobody. That ain't gonna happen. Yeah, he kind of just sits around, stands around in his lair and barks orders and comes up with fantastical super weapons or whatever. And that's Machestro. Thanks for watching.